Hey everybody, Audiophile Barista here. Welcome to part 2 of Lost and Found, and in this series I take you on a journey through my old, unused pictures and videos, things that I have made throughout the years but never used, and I'll try to make a nice storyline out of it. So the first episode was about my audio setup in my previous house, and there are two things that I still want to share with you from that period. So let's start with the loudspeakers. In part 1 I did not talk about these loudspeakers, so I asked, does anyone recognize these? And one of you did. Mike Todd. Congratulations, Mike. These are indeed Impulse loudspeakers. The Impulse H6. Now these are horn loudspeakers, and like most of my gear, I acquired these secondhand. Now, at the time, my hi-fi dealer, he got them as a trade-in, and by that time, because that was the time that I actually went to my favorite hi-fi dealer, and by that time he knew exactly what I wanted. So he called me and said, I think I have something for you, come and have a listen. So I did, and they ended up at my home shortly after that. Now these are a two-way horn design, 8 ohms and just shy of 90 dB sensitivity. But where is the horn, I hear you say? Well, the funny thing is that even though this was about 10 years before I got my Auxilia loudspeakers, these Impulse loudspeakers are similar to my current Auxilias in many aspects. These are also open at the bottom, and the whole inside of the cabinet is the horn, and it's radiating from the bottom out. That is also why they had spikes, and you had to use those spikes or otherwise you would muffle the horn. And I think it's pretty remarkable that I ended up liking the same kind of design for my loudspeakers 10 years after that. Now at first I played these Impulses with the AudioNote gear, and after that they were played with my iTools Preamp and OTL tube monoblocks. Now the Impulses moved on to a Colic after that when I replaced them for the Auxilias, but as you can see, they also played some time in my current setup in this house. Now these were absolutely wonderful speakers, but the Auxilias were much better. So that was the first thing I wanted to show you. The second thing was my physical media setup in the old place. My previous house was very small, but I found some space in the kitchen. Now normally you would have a big dining table and chairs in the kitchen, but for those of you who follow me, you may have picked up on the fact that I do not have a dining table. Just like I don't have a coffee table. It's a strange thing, but never in my life have I had a dining table in my house. I did always have a way to construct some DIY contraption when I had people over, but in order to make room for a hi-fi setup in a small house, at least the way that I thought it should be done, I chose to create space by not having a dining table. And I've never missed it. So instead of a dining table, there was my rack with my vinyl collection. And then in the living room I had my CD collection and my DVD collection. Now these pictures, most of these pictures, were made just before I moved out of this house into my current home, so that is why you see that it is a little bit of a mess everywhere, and over there on the wall you can see my old audio rack that I disassembled for the move. Now there is one more question that I promised to answer. One of you guys asked me about the difference between my old Torrance turntable and the new Clear Audio turntable. Well, as it is over 15 years ago, I cannot say that I really remember the differences in sound, but the main reason I changed was because I got fed up with the removable cartridge heads from the Torrance. It did not fit very tight onto the arm anymore, so it became unreliable and it had to go. Also, I had a real job at that time that made me some money, so I could afford the upgrade. And with that, we come to the end of this second episode. Like and subscribe if you appreciate that I make these kind of videos, and I will see you in the next one.